Okay, Armory here. Today we'll be installing the next generation Squadron SAE Foglight kit for my 5th gen Ram 2500 Bighorn. Ordered this back in November and finally showed up in March. It was like a 16-week, supposed to be 8-week back order, but then they were changing technology, and so it took longer to come in, and apparently I'm one of the first people to get this new kit. So this is the Amber kit. Excited to get it installed and show you guys what I'm doing here. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull everything out of the box, get the brackets on these lights, and then show you what I'm doing to disassemble the current fog lights on the truck. If you have the Laramie model, there's like an additional little plastic housing you have to buy that comes in, I think, a different kit that they sell. These are the brackets here, a little bit of hardware, and some different wiring harnesses to get them hooked up to the factory light switch, which is nice. So let me get these put in the brackets and I'll show you what I'm doing under the truck. I've got the brackets installed. The hardware comes with thread locker already on it, so it is pretty difficult to get in there. It can feel like you're cross-threading. You're not. It's a 9/64 Allen wrench that you use. The little washer goes on the outside. There's also a little lock washer that goes on the inside with the teeth facing out. But that should get us what we need. So now we'll hop under the truck and show you what all we're removing. I believe it's a 10mm socket for the 4 bolts on each of the fog light housing on the rear side of the bumper. So we're on the driver's side, and the 4 bolts are taken off are 1, 2, 3, and then there's another one up here in the corner. And we're going to disconnect this, and there's another harness up here we have to disconnect. This one, these 4 bolts, and this whole thing should come off. So if you already have the Bighorn, you don't actually have to take that harness that's up here apart. You can just slide it off the little retention clip. And then this one has a little red tab that you push down on, and then you can just pull that off. But this is the fog light harness, housing. And this 1, 2, 3 bolts, I think they're 7mm is what you'll pull off. And 1, 2, 3, and then this one will just sit on this little raised bit of plastic here to hold that one in place. We'll get that swapped over and get it back in underneath the truck, and then do the passenger side. I wanted to show you this. So whenever you're setting up your wiring harness, you want the black to match up with the black on the factory harness. I saw a video where it said the black goes to the white, and that is incorrect. That might be possible with like the Laramie, but with the Bighorn, black goes to black, because I set it up the other way, and now I got to figure out how to get those pins back out of there to be able to switch it around. So if this is where this clip is at, you want the black on the top, and it'll match up well with the harness for the factory harness, because otherwise that light's not going to work. So this is the back side of the passenger side. There's not a harness up on the top that you have to disconnect. I was going to show you one of my takeaways. So if you put a little screwdriver in here and push that way with it, you'll be able to get that little red clip to slip down. But then keep in mind, there's actually still a little button in there you have to push to get it off the back of the bulb of the factory fog light. But yeah, this is the back side. It's all put back together. This is the other thing I was going to show you. So I have the Bighorn model. Black goes to black there, right? If you can see that. And then to black coming off the light as well. The video I watched prior to doing this had it switched around. He had a Laramie, so big takeaway. Luckily I had another set of clips from like another install video I'll do that I was able to cut and replace, but figure out what your setup is prior to setting up the harness, otherwise you'll be in bad shape. The way these little barbs are set up, once you push it up in there, up into the tube, it's not coming back out, so I ended up having to cut this one off. Luckily I had an extra couple of these from this other kit that I have for reverse lights that I'll have another video for on my channel. But yeah, lesson learned. Figure out what you need before you set up your wiring. Let me show you what these things are. Here you go. So obviously it's daylight, but I think they'll look super cool, nice and bright. Part number 448033 in amber for the 19 and up 2500 HD ramp. Highly recommend it.